Everybody, Rob here for R&B Reviews, and not too long ago Roger Ebert announced that he was bringing At the Movies back in January of 2011 and that it would air on PBS, which is where Gene Siskel and Ebert did their first review show. And I was also excited that the show would still be taped here in Chicago, the thumbs will be back, and that the show would be called Roger Ebert Presents At the Movies. Now recently a demo of the new show appeared on YouTube, and you can imagine my excitement. I watched the old show for a long time, even when the two Bens were hosting it. So what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be sharing my thoughts on the demo, and if you haven't seen it, I did put a link for it underneath the description box. Now the host of the show will be Christy Lemire of the Associated Press and Elvis Mitchell of National Public Radio, and the show will have segments with Kim Morgan of SunsetGun.com, and she also writes for MSN Movies, as well as Omar Moore, who writes reviews and does videos for his website, PopcornReel.com. And of course, Roger Ebert will have a segment called Roger Ebert's Office, where he will review films as well. Now, after watching this demo, I kind of felt a little skeptical about whether this new show could work or not. I mean, it opens with a very nice history of the old shows, probably to introduce new viewers, and then we get brief clips of Christy Lemire and Elvis Mitchell reviewing Iron Man 2, Death at a Funeral, and Please Give. And I have seen Christy Lemire before. I remember she was one of the critics on a short-lived segment on the old At the Movie show called The Critics Roundup when the two Bens were still hosting it, and she wasn't really my favorite from that. And then Elvis Mitchell, I think he has a very good radio voice. This is the first time I've seen or heard him critique a movie. I think he has a very good radio voice, but I just didn't really think he was very good visually. I felt like he was a little bit stiff. I don't know if this is his first time doing television, but if it's a new format for him, but he can probably work on that. But on top of that, based on this demo, I just really didn't see any chemistry between the two hosts at first. During their Iron Man 2 review, it was like watching two people sharing their views, unlike Siskel, Ebert, and Roper, who I thought had more energy. And I felt these two were just a little bit too relaxed, and that I felt like they really didn't delve into the review even more, because I don't know if it was because of a possible time limit for each movie or what, but I know that for people that it may not have even worked or even met before, it does probably take time to get the chemistry to work. I'm sure Siskel and Ebert may have gone through that early on, and I do remember it took a little bit for Ebert and Roper to get something going. When they finally got it right, the chemistry was there and it worked out. And I also thought that Phillips and Scott finally got their chemistry going at the end of their term of the old At the Movie show. But here, these two, Lemire and Mitchell, I do think they got a little bit better as the demo went on when they started reviewing Death at a Funeral and another movie called Please Give. And I think Please Give was probably the best review of the three. The two were split on it, and we got to see a very good argument between them, and I felt that they were more animated and they were more energetic. And then after that, they did the first special segment. It was between Lemire and Kim Morgan on women filmmakers, and I thought these two had really great chemistry together. Lemire had good energy here, and it looked like these two connected to each other very well, and they both seemed to know the subject very well. And then Roger Ebert's segment was on next, where he did a review of a recent documentary called 45365, and it was great to see him again. And although he was speaking with that computer voice software program, I really could feel his love and his passion for this film through the words themselves. I hope he will be able to use the new software that he introduced on Oprah not too long ago, where it used his real voice, but if not, I think I can handle it. And then after that, Kim Morgan came back and she did a segment on old movies. She did it on The Third Man starring Orson Welles, and I love this segment because I am an old movie buff, and I thought she definitely knew her subject pretty well. And then the demo concluded with Omar Moore talking about the internet and how it can be used to influence moviegoers. Now, I found this subject to be a little bit fascinating, and I also feel that the web can help people find movies that were given a limited release and that people may not have heard of due to a lack of ads, as well as, the big studio pictures in wide release getting all the attention. But overall, I think based on what I have seen in the demo, the show is definitely aimed at intellectual moviegoers and people with the appreciation of movies. I'm still kind of skeptical about Lemire and Mitchell, but of course, over time maybe they could get a good chemistry going between the two of them as hosts. Now, will I watch the show when it comes out in January? You bet I will. But I think it will take time for the show to, you know, grow. I mean, I think today people expect the shows to be good for like the first couple of episodes, and if it's not, you know, they're gonna stop watching. But I think with something like this, you got to give it more time. You get to see it grow, because it is kind of like a revamped version of the show. So that's my thoughts on the demo of Roger Ebert Presents at the Movies. So go ahead and leave your comments about what you think of the new show or about this video. I do greatly appreciate it, and take care.